Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big reveal tomorrow for the PlayStation 5. Very excited about this. Sony announced that I believe it'll be 11 a.m. my time, Central Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. The PlayStation 5 will finally be revealed. Sony fanboys are shaking in their boots because they figure this is not going to be as powerful as the Xbox Series X. They fear that. They are terrified of that. They're so insecure in the PS5 because they know the PlayStation exclusives don't mean anything, and that Xbox will sell very well if it's more powerful, and will outsell the PlayStation because nobody cares about the stupid PlayStation exclusives. We remember last week Dreams, which was the latest hyped PS exclusive, didn't even crack the top 20 in the MPD sales. Anyways, I'm not sure what the point of this video is, since I asked myself what the point is. Excuse the yawn, it's 1 a.m. here. So we're 10 hours from the reveal, and I'm very excited for it. I'm going to wake up in time, and believe it or not, anything before 11 is actually early for me. So I'm going to wake up quote unquote early, maybe 10:30 a.m. Get ready to watch it. It's going to be like almost E3 level of excitement. I guess that, like I said, I asked myself why I'm making this video, because first of all, nobody watches my channel. But I was thinking there's probably going to be some people searching for PS5 reveal, so I may get a few hits on this one before the actual reveal. And the main thing I want to do is get it down on paper, so to speak, what my prediction is. And I am strongly predicting 9.2 teraflops, just like the GitHub leak. I think that's pretty much locked in at this point. The reason I say that is because I'm just not hearing anybody dispute that, really. And even the Sony fanboys on Resetera, I guess you say it, seem to sort of intuitively understand that this is not going to go well for them. Now, Xbox already came out with a deeper dive in their specs. That's very fun, very, very cool. But yes, I just want to put in that I'm going for 36 to 32 CUs, and then the GitHub leak basically. So that's going to be a maximum of 9.2 teraflops in my opinion. In fact, I would guess that it will be 9.2 because I think that they will clock it up to 2 gigahertz. They might even clock it higher. I could see 10 teraflops. But 36 CUs is the important thing. So yeah, now here's the thing though. I'm also strongly predicting, I believe that Sony's coming in around 9 teraflops, something like that, right? The 36 CUs. I believe they're significantly less powerful than the Xbox Series X. So I don't think in this video tomorrow, that in this deep dive, this and that, I don't think that they're going to reveal the teraflops, because they don't have many. They don't. If you have less of something, you don't talk about it. You play up what you do have, you know. They're going to talk about the SSD, in my opinion. We're going to talk about the solid state drive, the new technology they've got there. They'll have some kind of special sauce just like Xbox does. Xbox has built-in hardware decryption, this and that. I'm sure Sony's going to have something similar, or maybe even a little bit more advanced, because Sony already talked about it. I could be completely wrong, and maybe the PS5 is coming in at 13 teraflops or something crazy, but I don't believe it is. I'm going with 9 teraflops, around there, 9.2. And as I said, I could see them being desperate and upclocking it to 10. Now here's the real prediction though. I think that they probably won't talk about flops tomorrow. Or I think there's a very good chance they won't. Because if they are lower than Xbox Series X, as I believe they are, just like I already said, then they're not going to want to accentuate that. They're going to talk about everything else. They're going to probably use buzzwords like, oh, we've got a custom AMD GPU with massive computing power. You know, they're going to talk about in words like that, where you can't pin a figure on it. You know, they're going to say custom AMD GPU. Just the same way Microsoft didn't exactly highlight how many teraflops they have when the Xbox One original was less powerful than the PS5 or PS4. Just like Nintendo doesn't talk at all, never talked at all, I believe, about how, what was under the hood of the Switch. People just figured that out from developers, from like, even I think, like X-ray shots of the die. You know, Nintendo never said with the Switch. I think they just said it was a custom Tegra chip or something like that, if I remember. So Nintendo, same with the Wii U. Nintendo's never going to talk about their hardware because they know it's not very strong, and the only thing that leads to is people going, oh, this is not as strong as what's in PlayStation, Xbox. And correctly, for Nintendo's point of view, that's irrelevant. What matters to the Nintendo is the games. Now, this is not true for Sony and Xbox, though. Well, the power is very important there. So you have to make that distinction. That's why all these Sony fanboys are so scared that the PS5 is going to be less powerful, because they intuitively know, no matter what kind of posts they type up and whatnot, they intuitively know that the power is very important, and they're so invested in beating Xbox, of course. PlayStation fanboys, I've said this a million times, are defined by Xbox. So that just explains why there's all this hope on forums, desperation from Sony fanboys that they have to be more powerful than Xbox. Because they know the software is not going to save them. If it was true that they have these great exclusives, then they wouldn't worry about it. They'd be like, well, who cares if the Xbox Series X is more powerful? We've got the great exclusives. But nobody cares about these exclusives, and they know it. They absolutely know it. Because if they didn't know it, then they wouldn't be so worried about it being powerful. So yeah, that's what I'm predicting. So, like I said, I believe if they say any flops, it's going to come out to be about 9.2. And I believe that probably they just won't talk about the flops. They'll talk about the SSD, they'll talk about the GDDR. I figure they're going to show a real next-gen game. The reason I think that is just to be different than Microsoft, because Microsoft hasn't showed a game. Plus, Sony always shows games super early. Like, they showed games at E3 like 5 years ago. Everybody bashed MS for showing games like 2 years early. Meanwhile, Sony was showing games like 8 years early and nobody said anything, you know? Year after year after year. How about The Last Guardian? They showed these games that never came out, you know? Nobody says anything about that on Reset Era because they're all a bunch of fanboys. But anyways, my point is, I expect Sony may give us a slice of a true next-gen game. Microsoft didn't give us that, you know? They gave us Minecraft ray tracing and this and that. And Gears of War gussied up a little bit, which I believe is fine. But I believe that Sony, in an effort to be different, especially if they don't have 12 teraflops, which I don't believe they do. I believe they have less, of course. They're going to try to show something to wow you. They're going to show something next gen. I think, I could be completely wrong. They're going to show a game that's like, whoa. You know, look at that. And fanboys just spaz out over. Like they've been doing for the last 20 years. Freaking out over Uncharted graphics and this and that. 30 FPS graphics. And, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I guess, you know, like I said, once I actually get to this video, there's not a whole lot of point to it, but I just wanted to get down on paper and get it down before. This is 1:08 a.m. on March 18th, 2020. Still about 10 hours, I think it is. Yeah, 10 hours to go till the Sony conference. So I'm getting it beforehand that I'm firmly Team 9.2 /GitHub /whatever. And we'll see. And like I said, the thing is, and don't be surprised, is that Sony's probably not even going to mention the flops tomorrow. Because they have less. And if you're smart, that should be a good hint that they have less. What the fanboys are going to do is have plenty of room to run. And, oh, Sony's beefing up the specs at the last second. That's why they didn't reveal them. This kind of stuff. You know, it's not going to be true, but they're going to hope. It's going to leave the fanboys room to speculate. But it's going to be bad news if they don't reveal the flops. Because If they had enough, they would reveal them. And I personally don't think they will. Or if they do, it will be lower than 12. And that's about all I got. And I think that you can tell this is going to be the case because of people have kind of been hinting at it. At any rate, I'm going to make another video once the with my thoughts. Once the reveal is final tomorrow. I'm going to watch it and make a video commenting on it. So yeah, that's what I got about it.